So it's currently minus 7 degrees Celsius, and it is a balmy 10 degrees in here. Good morning, everybody. You can tell the temperature has dropped quite significantly. Whew. Oh, but I slept really well, even though I was getting up every couple hours to stoke the fire, but it's out now, unfortunately. But I'm gonna get it going again here in a sec. It feels like it's absolutely freezing outside of the sleeping bag, and I'm not stoked at all to be getting out of it. But I need a cup of coffee, so I gotta get moving. So I'm gonna get to that. So I actually was mistaken. The stove was still running. I just had to give it a little oxygen. So I'm pretty happy with that. So right now, this morning, it is just about -4. So it's not too bad to wake up in compared to the -18 that it is outside. It is finally coffee time, and I'm really needing it this morning because it is freezing out. It's nice and warm in here, but I had to run outside for a quick sec, and man, the temperature out there is just unbelievable. I am not going anywhere until the sun comes up. It is freezing out. I'm going to be in my nice warm tent until then. Oh, yep, that's the stuff. That is some good coffee. And it's definitely the cup I needed. Oh. Oh. Well, there's honestly not going to be much going on until the sun comes up. So I'm just going to hang out. And I will catch you guys when the sun is fully shining. Well, the sun's finally up, which is a nice treat. Hopefully it starts warming up soon. It is bitter cold out right now. The thermometer is currently reading -6 in here, which means that it is not going to be kind outside. It has significantly dropped in temperature since yesterday. It is cold. So I just received the weather update that I called in on my GPS. And currently it is -22. That's a 20-degree difference from when I got here yesterday. So I'm gonna bundle up before I leave the tent because it is bloody freezing out. We are actually doing a lot better than I had thought. We're almost at 0 degrees Celsius in here, so it's performing even better than it was yesterday, which is actually kind of shocking. And hopefully when it's -30 tonight, it will do even better. Alright, it's time to venture outside. Let's see how this goes. Woo. Yeah, Chili is right. Damn, son. So I was gonna start a fire, but I'm looking at the wood pile that I got behind me that I brought along, and it's dwindling pretty good. So instead of starting a fire, my way of warming up this morning is going to be going and finding firewood. With the temperature that it is now, I'm going to be cooking through the firewood. So I need to get a surplus of that going. So I'm gonna get to that because I got some gear to set up. So just a quick little update on the snowshoes. The boots that I have for them are definitely not made for this cold. I hoped that I'd be able to layer up on some socks, but it's definitely not happening, and my minus 40°C boots do not fit in them, so I'm going to be hoofing it through all this snow. But that's okay, it just makes life a little more interesting. I got to go fairly far to find wood around here because it's a fairly popular camping spot during the summer, but obviously during the winter I'm the only one really out here. I'm the only one crazy enough to be out here, but long story short, I gotta go find wood, so going for a hike and then we'll play with the chainsaw. So I think I found a pretty good spot to cut wood. There's a few fallen down trees, but they do look pretty dead. So I'm hopeful that they'll be able to produce some good heat for me. Makes quick work. All right, now that everything is loaded up, I just have to long hike back. It's amazing how hot you can get. I had to take off a couple layers and excuse me. Here I am, I was sweating pretty bad. I am pulling a good amount of weight. Still, you'd think in minus 22°C that it'd be pretty hard to work up a temperature, but no, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. All right, onward. think I'm gonna chop that stuff when I need it, rather than get it all done right away, because I'm more interested in getting a fire going right now. So that's what I'm gonna get up to, because it is nasty cold. And I'm gonna layer back up because I'm starting to cool off again too. I'm really happy the fire's going. It is bitter cold right now. I mean, it feels cold right now. See there, minus 16 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it's pretty cold, and it's only gonna get colder. I still have another 15 degrees colder to get. So yeah, a little nerve-wracking. It's kind of awesome. I'm really excited for that deep cold. I'm gonna build this fire up nice and big to warm up my bones, and then I'm gonna cook up something to eat because I am starving. Man, I am excited to eat. Oh, it is 12:30 right now, so I guess this is more of a lunch than a breakfast, but I was really excited to do it up in the big cast iron pan that I have now. So, that's good. That's hitting the spot. Oh, having the bigger pan gives you a lot more cooking space, which is really nice. You can actually make larger meals, which is nice, because I definitely consume a lot more calories out here, especially during the winter. Oh, so it's good that I'm able to make a lot more food and be able to eat more. But this is awesome. So it did get a little bit warmer. Earlier it came up to about minus 15. But now it's starting to drop off again, which is a lot of fun. And I'm expecting to see minus 20 within the next few hours. I'm gonna keep eating, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do next. You can get such a better view of the landscape during the winter when there's not 1,000 different shades of green all blending together. I want to do another trip down along the Ghost River here, and it's nice to be able to get a view of all the riverbanks and kind of see where all the hills are and where everything's sloping and all that kind of stuff. Because last year I went at it blind, and you know, that was a bit of an adventure bushwhacking my way down to the river. So this year I'm scouting out I'm trying to see where the best access points are, and up at this point where I'm camped gives me really good vantage to be able to kind of look and see what I want to work and what I don't want to work, and areas I want to camp and areas I want to stay away from. So it's always good to make sure you sit down and check out your surroundings for future trips. That way you don't make mistakes later on. Man, it is absolutely beautiful now. Considering it's the middle of the winter, doing bushcraft projects is a little difficult, unfortunately. So I don't really have a whole heck of a lot to do right now. So what I decided on doing is I'm going to start packing up camp. And the reason for that is when I wake up in the morning, it's going to be in the -30s. So I'm not going to be too keen on packing up all my gear. I'm just going to want to jump in the truck and get out of here. I'm going to want to do as minimal amount of takedown as possible. With keeping that in mind, I'm going to pack everything up a little preemptively. So that way in the morning I can just kind of break down my tent, get the stove down, pack up my sleeping bag, and get out of here. So I got everything cleaned up pretty much, and I got all that wood chopped up that I was able to buck up with my chainsaw. I chopped it really nice and small for the stove, so I have plenty of wood to burn tonight. It should be an interesting night tonight with the weather drop that's coming. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this guy burn down. It's gonna take a couple hours, but then I'm gonna head into the tent so I can take this giant snowsuit off and kind of get a little more comfortable, and then probably head to bed once it's been dark for a couple hours. But I'm excited to take some layers off in the hot tent and get it stoked up really good and get it nice and hot in there, because it's been a pretty cold day out in the world. So I'm excited to get enclosed into a shelter for a while. This has been a really fun trip. My lunch breakfast thing was fantastic. I ate a lot, and I'm still pretty full from it, so I don't think I'm going to do anything for dinner tonight, just because I am still pretty stuffed from that, and I have a couple snacks I can have if I'm peckish later. One thing I like about winter camping so much more than spring or summer is the lack of people. There's just never anyone out here. It's always quiet. It's always just you. It's honestly perfect out here in the winter. Well, we are at -20 degrees Celsius tonight, so that's the bedtime temperature outside. Oh, so I am in the tent now, which is really nice. It was getting really cold out there, and it's actually really nice and warm in here. And then it's supposed to get to -27 tonight. So we're not quite hitting that -30 degrees mark, but we'll definitely be getting close. But I am exhausted and I am pretty cold, so I think I am going to be hitting the sleeping bag early tonight. So I'm gonna get changed, and then I'm gonna be racking out for the night. I'm all tucked in for the night. I am really hoping that I don't freeze my butt off. I have a couple hot water bottles in my sleeping bag with me. I have my backup heater going and the stove, so I'm hoping it goes well. But wish me luck, and I will see you in the morning. Good night. Good morning. Oh. It is currently 5 in the morning. I don't even want to guess about how cold it is. But it's not warm in my sleeping bag, so I know it's not gonna be warm outside. It was a cold night. This is the coldest I've ever done in the sleeping bag, and it's the coldest it will ever do. Oh man. Alright, I gotta get moving and break down camp and get out of here, because I'm not screwing around with this temperature today. Well, that is it for me. I am all packed up and ready to hit the road. I am absolutely exhausted. Last night was absolutely rough. I have no idea what the temperature was, but it was a lot colder than -20. I didn't have the energy to get out and check it, unfortunately, but that's how it goes. I got all the kit packed up, but all my batteries were frozen solid when I woke up. I only got a little bit of footage, so I kind of got what I got. Make sure you keep checking back for adventures in the great outdoors. I'll catch you guys next time.